tried to be positive in the first instance. He's made promises of compressed natural gas to reduce transport fares based on the fact that there's nothing we can do again about it. And according to them, it is now subject to the forces, market forces of demand and supply. He also promised to lift micro and small scale businesses. He has started distributing billions of naira and foodstuffs to different states to cushion the effects of the palliatives. All those, I think, are positive, but you will take that. How about his dealing with the NLC? So far, so good. We understand that anytime from now, they gave 14 days between Friday of last week, that they will now go on indefinite strike, and they are ready to show it by a demonstration protest sometime this week. Speak to that.
Well, first of all, I don't actually believe that the NLC is really going to go on any sort of significant industrial action. I think the NLC has been bought and paid for ever since the Buhari administration. I don't really believe the NLC is going to do anything. So I think that's actually the least of his problems. I think the real issue is over and beyond the NLC, the Nigerian people themselves are being stretched to a point where, where we don't even know what the spark will be. But all it will take, it might be the tiniest thing. It might be the price of bread. Who knows? And before you know it, people will be in the streets again. And then he's going to have a whole crisis on his hands. And unfortunately, it's all his own doing. Because if the subsidy had been removed as of 2012, a lot of these issues wouldn't have been existing now. But he decided to turn it into a whole political circus then. So I guess Karma has a very weird sense of humor. So, he's here dealing with the monster he created 11 years ago. So let's wait and see how he deals with it. He's the president, so it's his job.
Okay, real quick, David. Could there be any reason why the current administration has not really touched on the funds derived from subsidy removal and what they intend to do with it? Because we understand that at least at this point, if not about 8 or 900 billion, at least close to $1 trillion or more, must have been saved by no longer paying subsidy. I want to quickly speak to that 1 minute so that I can ask you your final question.
Okay, well, the reason is that there is no 8 or 900 billion or 1 trillion that has been saved from subsidy. What has actually happened?
Why do you think so?
Is that 800 or 900 billion or 1 trillion that would have been borrowed to pay for subsidy has not been borrowed? Because what people don't understand is that there was no money that was paying for subsidies. The government was borrowing to pay subsidies.
Wow.
So which is why I said the fiscally responsible thing to do is to remove the subsidy, because Nigeria was borrowing to fund consumption. You don't do that, right? So now that hole in public finances, I wouldn't even say the hole has been filled, but it's just that they've stopped digging. That's all. That's the very first thing. They stopped digging. So people shouldn't even be expecting that there's one mound of savings somewhere that's going to be used to do something. No.
Wow.
That's not the case.
Okay.
So people should adjust their expectations accordingly.